Hello and welcome to Mindful Mondays. It's such a pleasure to be with you here today. I see already in the chat we've got some folks waiting to start. Before we do that, a couple of noteworthy points I'd like to make. First and foremost, I'd like to recognize where I'm calling in from today, which is the territory and the lands of the Squamish people. Really honor and respect that they work the work that they do around the stewardship of our lands. And for those of you who may not know, the Squamish people are here in Squamish, British Columbia. I also have an amazing guest with us here today, Gurdeep. I'm going to get to you right away, but a couple of other points just want to make. First of all, this show's all about positivity. We're going to get to that right away. This is episode 18 of Mindful Mondays, the very first one of 2023, and I can't think of a better way to kick off 2023 with a message about hope, joy, and positivity. But why am I doing this? Mindful Mondays has been a passion project of mine for about a year or so, and it's really about, at the core of it all, it's about creating healthier humans, healthier workplace cultures, more sustainable environments. And how I try to do that is through talking with experts like Gurdeep about, community, connection, the power of collective wisdom. My background is in human resources. And so some of the previous guests we've talked about corporate culture, we've talked about career-related stress, mental health at work, employee wellness, and I think today's guest really feeds in nicely with this topic of wellness. So let me tell you about Gurdeep. Gurdeep Pandir is based in the Yukon. He's a Bhangra dance artist. He lives off the grid. He lives just north of Whitehorse near Lake LaBerge. And he has created dance videos in nature, outdoors. And what it does is it brings people together. And I can speak to that firsthand. I'm going to tell you about that in a moment. He is known for spreading a message of joy and hope and positivity, especially through the pandemic. But even more than that, he has touched millions of viewers throughout the world who's watched his wilderness videos. And I can't thank you enough for being here today. Welcome, Gurdeep.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for having me. And I'm feeling honored and thrilled to be in this episode of Mindful Monday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to see here what's in the comments and anything yet. So James had popped in here. We'll see you dance as well. Yes, you will. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you will see me dance today for sure. Gurdeep, I'm wondering if you can give just a little bit of a snippet of what's to expect.
Yeah, sure, like that.
I love it. I love it. There's going to be more of that to come. I encourage our viewers to please share in the chat. Where are you calling from? Maybe you've seen Gurdeep perform live as well. Share that in the chat. And if you have any questions for him, right? Those of you who've seen him perform know that there's always a big, long string of folks who want to talk to him. And if you haven't had an opportunity to speak to him, you can do that today. So share your comments in the chat here. Speaking of which, I'm just going to take a quick peek here. And here we go. There we are. So yeah, Tara, thanks so much. I'm going to pop this up on screen here. Oops, hang on. Tara's question here, or her comments. Thanks so much, Tara, for sharing that. Yeah, I love his videos as well. Let me also just take this away because I know LinkedIn also has closed captioning, which is very, very important. But there's a lot happening on the chat here. So we have someone here, Whistler, Gurdeep, seen you perform in Whistler. That's where you and I met. Do you remember when we met, Gurdeep?
Yes, I clearly remember it, and it
Oh,
was
wait,
wonderful.
you're muted, I think. What's that? Oh, are you okay? Hang on. Chat. Here we go. I think we're good now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, that was my fault.
Oh,
Um,
no worries, no worries. Technical things happen. Yeah, I clearly remember that evening in Whistler, BC, at that beautiful Whistler Olympic Plaza stage. Yeah, it was very positive, very wonderful crowd.
it was great. I got up on stage with Gurdeep as well. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time there. And what happened was, before Gurdeep was performing, he did a sound check, and I said to my husband, I'm like, "That's Gurdeep. Let's go see him." And I waved up stage. I waved on stage to him, and then of course he came down, and we took some photos. And then of course I was in the audience afterwards, and I felt like I was floating on air. So this is why I wanted to have you here on Mindful Mondays. And so with that, let's talk about some of the things that I'd like to learn a little bit more about you, Gurdeep. So, I reached out to you and I said, would you be on Mindful Mondays? You said yes. But I'd like to know more about, why this dance and why this message. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So this dance has been very important for me in many, many ways. For my personal growth, when I dance, it makes me happy, it makes me joyful. I feel myself uplifted. But it also very important that through this dance, I'm able to broadcast that energy. Um, I'm able to create those smiles, and I'm able to share the joy with other people, because I believe that when joy is shared with many people across the world, it is multiplied. If someone's day is bad, someone is not feeling well, someone is sick, or someone's relative or near or dear is not doing well, or some other issues at home or at work, when people see someone dancing, because dance is a universal language, it just makes their day better. Sometimes we talk about being in a good mood. It just creates that good mood that sometimes it wipes away those worry lines, and I like that too. And also it creates a unity, togetherness. People appreciate a different side of someone, and people, it creates learning, it creates understanding. So dance has been very, very important for me in many, many ways.
Thank you. So you're bringing in some of your own self development, personal development, and then spreading it out, fanning it out that way. Well, I certainly appreciate it, because I think it was here, James, where you said both of your smiles are infectious, right? Yeah. We know this. So there's someone that I follow. His name is psychologist Dr. Rick Hansen. And what he says is that negativity, our negative thoughts, stick like Velcro. They stick like Velcro, but the positive thoughts slide away like Teflon. When we can cultivate more positivity, we're actually training the brain. This is a little bit of neuroscience and leadership here. We can train the brain to be more positive, right? We've all been in those situations where one person starts talking negative, another person does, and it becomes this big cloud of negativity. And Gurdeep's doing the exact opposite. So thank you. I want to say hello to Tammy. Tammy Canna's calling in from Victoria. Allie's excited to be here to love the intro dance. Yes, we're going to be doing some dancing for sure. Sherry Roth calling in from Winnipeg. And James actually has, I think there's a question here for you, Gurdeep. So you seem to live a very quiet and private life, but you have now attracted the attention of millions. How has that affected your desire for tranquil solitude?
Thank you, James, for asking this question. Yes, that's true that I live in a cabin in a wilderness of the Yukon, and I don't have any civilized around me. I have 360 forest, beautiful boreal forest. Yeah, it's very solitude life, very different. Uh, After my videos started being watched by many people, people started appreciating them. People started recognizing me. Um, it changed my life. Uh, it created different kind of connections in this virtual space through internet. It definitely brought some changes in my life. My life, even staying in the wilderness, not in that much solitude anymore, because every day I go through so many messages, so many letters, so many emails. I would say that in the beginning, it used to be feeling like a bit too much. But with the time, I started to enjoy it. I started feeling that this is very good. That creating connections while being in solitude, uh, it it brings people to the point when we can connect beyond many borders, beyond many barriers. Um, Sometimes people share their struggles with me. They send me a message, even if they don't share their struggles with their friend or family. Sometimes they feel comfortable enough to write me a message that hey, I went through this terrible time today and this happened. I feel that was also the purpose of that dance, uh, inspiring people uh, to connect, inspiring people to share, inspiring people to find positivity. Because when people see my videos, they watch my videos. Uh, I want them to receive something. I want them to receive the message I sent through the video, message of positivity, messages of inclusivity, messages of coming together, messages of joy. Um, then when people connect with me, and I started feeling that actually that is also fulfilling the purpose behind the videos. Why I post my videos on social media? I just don't want people to watch and leave them. I want people to do something accordingly. What when people connect with me, interact with me, even sometimes I don't have time to respond to their messages, but I read them, and it kind of validates, it kind of confirms that hey, the message I sent yesterday or last week about joy, hope, and positivity, that was well received. So so then I felt that those connections were valuable, and I started enjoying it. And nowadays my life is in the balance of solitude in the wilderness of the cabin, and also cultivating these kind of virtual connections the way I'm cultivating with Michelle today and with you too, James.
Yeah, what I'm hearing you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you find some balance there between the being on stage, the exuding the energy, and then yet you can go back home to your cabin and just appreciate, the nature around you and the quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. A balance is very important in our life, like to balance um, in work life, in everyday life is very important. For example, work is important. Work is very important for not just to make money, just to keep our mind engaged. Um, but when there's too much work, that's also not good. In a similar way, like interacting with with people, creating performances, creating videos. It takes time and space, and then being quiet in cabin. It brings that balance.
Yeah, I hear you there because in December, my husband and I went to Costa Rica for a month, and really quite luxurious, I'll put it that way. And it's not who we are. We're not luxurious people, but there was a point where I just said, I need a break. I really need a break. It's amazing that Mindful HR Services, that I've got amazing clients, that people trust in the work that I do. But I also needed a break. That's where that self-care comes in. And you're right, there can be too much work. And so I think that this is a way to, your work is a way to put a smile on our face. We've been doing a lot of that this morning already. It's a way to get some physical energy into the bodies. We're going to be doing that right away. But it also brings people together. And so I want to talk a little bit about this idea of inclusivity. So in my work as a human resources consultant, the world of diversity, equity, inclusion are really important. And so maybe tell our viewers a little bit on your perspective about inclusivity and how the work that you do does that, how it brings people together.
Inclusivity is very important. Inclusivity means there can't be joy if some people are excluded. Inclusivity creates a joy not in just one or two people, in whole community, in a whole country, in the world. Sometimes things happen when people are not included. Only a few people are included. Then it doesn't create real positivity, real joy. It doesn't create what we can say that constructive positivity, because positivity can be two types of positivity. I'm talking about healthy positivity, constructive positivity, positive positivity. So for that, when we create smiles and share with everyone in our circle, in our community, in our country, without limiting in those barriers, in those borders, like, hey, I want to work with these specific kind of people. I won't be working with this specific kind of people. Then it won't lead to true joy. In search of true joy, we need to make sure that people from all walks of life, people from all backgrounds, people from all kind of faiths, all kind of groups, they are included, which also includes including all genders, different age groups, people from different colors, people from like seeing everyone as a fellow human being. That creates a true inclusivity, and that leads to true joy, hope, and positivity. So that's why it is very important.
Yeah. And Tara, thanks for sharing this. There can't be joy if some people are excluded. Yes, she's picking up on your message here. Thanks for that, Tara. I want to also pop on screen here. We've got, thanks so much, Rhea, for sharing this. Rhea's working behind the scenes. She's our marketing manager here at Mindful HR Services, sharing a little bit of information on how you can learn more about Mindful HR Services. We'll also pop some information up here for Gurdeep as well. I've got another question here. So, hi, Michelle and Gurdeep. I learned about Gurdeep from a colleague who lives in Australia. Amazing. Around the world, your work is going. It's great how far a reach a positive message can have. Any recommendations on how people can bring positive experience of Bhangra dancing while in an office environment where people may not want to get up and dance near the aisle of their desk? And also, Gurdeep, you could win the fittest person's, the world's fittest person's Bhangra is a great workout.
Thank you for asking this question. How to bring this kind of culture in office environment? Yes, I understand that. Like when you're working in office, your schedule is back to back. You have meetings, you have so many things in your task list, and there are pressures from everywhere, from your colleagues, from from bosses, even people you are serving to. There could be too much. Um, I feel that to develop that culture, there needs to be a collective effort at your organization. Um, at your organization, you folks need to meet and you folks need to talk how we can include more breaks. That can be positive breaks, that could be dance breaks. You can name anything, that could be just mindful pauses. Um, because when there are pressures, it's not easy to take time, and if you just stand up by yourself and start dancing, probably that may feel a bit awkward too. But if everybody knows that, hey, at 10:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. or whatever time you set up, for 10 minutes or maybe for 15 minutes, people will have their positive, their mindful break. So during that time, during those minutes, everybody get up. They can dance, they can create some art pieces, they can do something. Like dancing is one great way of creating positivity, creating joy. If some other people who are not too much into dancing, they can do something else. They can go for running, they can go for a walk, they can. But those people who are willing to participate in any kind of dancing or any kind of exercise, they should do that. So, like my point is that you folks at your office, at your organizational level, need to create those breaks. It could be before noon, afternoon, like twice a day. That will allow actually everybody to participate and create that balance which we talked earlier.
Yeah. What you're talking about, Gurdeep, or what it makes me think about is the corporate culture. What is the culture? I've also talked in length with Tara Adams, who shared in the chat here about this, about the healthy mindset about, you know what, I got to go, guys. I've got to take. It's time for my family time now. I need to go. My family's waiting for me. Or you know what? It's almost 9:30. This is when I go to the gym. So we got to wrap this up in the next 7 minutes, right? It's about positive leader role modeling on whatever it might be. Maybe it is Bhangra dancing. I highly encourage Bhangra dancing. We're going to get there next, but whatever it is, it's something. When I think of well-being, I think about clearing the mind. And how do you do that? The way to do that is to go to a different place. I use mindful meditation to do that. There could be different ways. So in terms of different ways, I want to show this up here because this is exactly where we're going next. Moving our bodies regularly positively impacts our physical and mental wellness. Moving with others brings another joyful element, Gurdeep. So we're gonna switch gears here. I'm gonna make Gurdeep bigger. Yeah. And he's gonna take the stage. I'm gonna mute myself and we're gonna do some Bhangra dancing. Please continue to share your comments in the chat. We have a few minutes left. We'll try to get to all of them, but for now, the floor is yours.
Okay, my dear friends, now we are talking about movement. Movement is very important. Movement, it gets blood flow. It is very good for your mind, very good for your heart. Any dance activity, any exercise can be a great movement. So today we'll do one Bhangra move for joy, hope, and positivity, and creating that great mental space, creating that good vibe, good thoughts. So at this time, I invite everybody to stand up, please. And if you are not, for some reason, not able to stand up, you are okay. You are totally fine to do it while being on your seat. Okay, so if you're able to stand up, then please stand up. So stand up straight and give your core, bring a big smile on your face and also inside your heart. So when I'll be teaching, sometimes I'll be turning this way, backing you, and then I'll turn back. So when I'll be turning, you don't need to turn. You just continue watching me straight. So everybody together, you raise your left leg up and then tap. Raise your left leg up and then tap. When you tap, you count number 1. When you tap again, you count number 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Say happy, 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 whoo, happy, happy, and happy, happy. So in a similar way, we'll do on right side too. You bring your right foot up and then tap, up and tap. So when you tap, you count number 3. When you tap again, you count number 4. So 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Happy, 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 happy. Yes, 3, 4, and 3, 4. Awesome. So good. So now we'll be tapping twice on left side, twice on right side, then again twice on left. Okay, standing straight, standing tall, bringing lots and lots of joy in your heart. Let's start from left side. Be ready, folks. 5, 6, 7, 8. Start. 1, 2, switch. 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And now we are going to include the arms. All you need to do, you bring your hands all the way up like this. And with the count, with beat count, you bring them down. So this is 1. Up again. When you count, you bring them down. This is 2, then 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we will be using our legs and arms at the same time. So for example, when your leg is up, your arms are up. When your leg is down, your arms are down. So this is 1, 2, then switch, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play some music, drum beat, and we are going to dance together. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So bring lots of joy in your head. Your hands are up. We'll start from left side. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy, 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 happy. Say happy, 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 happy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Woo-hoo! Great! So wonderful. So awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hang on, I gotta set myself back up again. Okay, so if anyone watches this replay again, do not look at my rhythm, okay? Don't look at my rhythm. Thank you so much, Gurdeep. That was amazing. I don't think I've had such an energizing Monday morning for a very long time. Really, really appreciate the time that you shared. I'm a little out of breath, actually, so maybe I need to practice more so that I can be as in good as fitness as you. Let's see here what's happening in the chat here. Greg, so much fun. I couldn't agree with you more. Let's take a look here. Oh, this is so nice. You're a great human, great dancer, and a great teacher. Easy to follow now. So nice. Thank you so much. Yeah, continue with sharing. Continue with sharing. Feeling energized, I see here. Lovely. Gurdeep is a national treasure. I agree. Thank you so much. All right, we've come to our time. It's 9:30. Thank you everyone for showing up. So many regulars. Elizabeth, I see you're back here again. Thank you, Vreya, for sharing the information behind the scenes here. Sherry, Ronnie, Tara, James, thank you so much. Before we close, I want to tell you a little bit more about what's coming up next. Our next Mindful Monday is on February the 20th, and we're changing things up a little bit. I am probably one of the least technological people I know. I count on my husband a lot for tech support. And on February the 13th, we're speaking with John Stroud of AI Guides. Artificial intelligence is around all of us in a variety of contexts, whether it's personal or business, including human resources. And we'll be talking with John about different ways AI enhances the HR profession. And so that's on February the 13th. Thank you, Gurdeep. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to share your wisdom, to share your knowledge, to share your message.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me. You're a wonderful host. And thank you to everyone for your nice, lovely comments, lovely words. I felt the warmth. I appreciate. And it was great to share and learn together in this virtual space today.
Thank you again. You can learn more about Gurdeep on his website. I follow him on Instagram and on LinkedIn here. His schedule is starting to fill up. So if you've got a conference, a seminar, a team building activity, I highly encourage you to reach out to Gurdeep. He made time for me, which I really, really appreciate. And I expect he can also make time for you. So with that, thank you again. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to you, Gurdeep. And on that note, we'll say goodbye and be well, everyone. Be well.